Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. And today, I have my guest with me, Ikenna, of the Real United Talk Show. And today, we're going to be talking about the hot topic, as everybody's talking about. We'll talk about it in the last episode. We talked about Amorim being sacked or backed, and all of that. And I'll give my views, and you all know my views on this. But we're going to talk about this because the reports have been coming in the last 24 to 48 hours that Amorim is going to be sacked, and there's been already a list of potential managers, and the people peddling this are the Mirror and potentially Manchester Evening News, peddling a list of managers to replace Rúben Amorim, and I and Ikenna are going to break it down. Based on reports, several names have been linked, with Manchester United, as Amorim's position is under scrutiny, and it is also been reported that there's 3 games to save Amorim's career, and these 3 games are before the international break. And usually, manager sackings happen at international breaks. Think about Nottingham Forest, who sacked Nuno Espirito Santo and brought in Ange Postecoglou during the international break. So, some of the sources claim that these are bookmakers. That's the thing that really shocks me. But we're going to break it down based on the list that we have. So, Ikenna, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Ikenna before, or you're probably coming from his channel, or you're watching from my channel, please go check out his channel. It's the Real United Talk Show. He talks about all things Real Madrid and Manchester United, and he is also trying to reach out to the community as well. So let's build a community with him and continue so that we can, continue these collaborations and have conversations. Check him out on the Real United Talk Show, and you can find him also on Instagram and TikTok and the like. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Ikenna. So basically, Amorim's replacements. What are your thoughts regarding that? Just give me like a general summary of your thoughts on Amorim's. I know your stand on Amorim, but what's your thoughts on Amorim's tenure so far, and what you think should be the next step?
So Amorim's tenure so far, I think, has just been kind of, I don't want to say unproductive, but that's what I have to say. Just because we're not improving at the rate that we need to be improving.
Yeah,
we talked about it in the previous episode. That I don't think that we've made the strides that we should have made, given how bad we were last season. We're too bad last season to be this bad this season. Yes, we can say that there's improvements here and there. Yes, we can say that we can see better, better things in our play and everything. But overall, we're just not the team that we should be. We look at a team like Tottenham, who had the terrible season that we had last season, and they sacked their manager, got a new manager, introduced a whole new style of play, and they're doing well right now. It's paying them, it's giving them results. So things are going well for Tottenham, who were in an exact situation last time and won a Europa League title, by the way. And with Amorim right now, we just haven't made those strides, and I just feel like we're getting to a point where it might be time to let him go. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Okay, because Amorim, yes, it's a given. He's had a torrid time. I mean, basically, he's played 31 games in the Premier League and he has 31 points, 8 wins, and even in this season, he's played 4 Premier League games and he has 4 points. Literally, like 1 point a game from last season, 11th of November when he joined, to this season when we started the first game against Arsenal. He has 4 points from 4 games. And it's a damning stat. But there are other statistics that actually show that the team is improving. Now, I'm going to ask you this question overall, because you've answered it, but I want you to kind of focus on this particular aspect. Do you think that the team has improved this season? Forgetting about what happened last season, not saying that we're not considering it, but forgetting about what happened, do you think, considering the signings, the 5 players that were brought in and all that the team has improved this season?
I believe the squad has improved. Obviously, I think that, the signings are big, major improvements from what we had. We had Rasmus Højlund, we had Garnacho, now we have Sesko, we have Konya, and we have Mbeumo. So yes, the squad has improved. And I think that at some point I could have said that the team as a whole had improved. When you watch the Arsenal game, you could have said that, oh yes, we lost the game, but we improved. But then you now move on from the Arsenal game to the Fulham game, to the Grimsby game, and even the Burnley game, which at some point were dominating, but at some point Burnley came back into the game. And you just look at that and just thinking that, have we improved? Is this better? I know we're not talking about last season, but is this better than last season? That's what you have to think about. And you look at the Arsenal game again and you're like, did he deceive us a bit, or were we deceived in the Arsenal game? Did they just give us like a glimpse of hope to now say that, okay, let's live up that hope for the rest of the season? So I'll say that the squad has improved. I'll say I've seen signs of improvement, but we haven't improved overall.
Okay. Just to answer the question with regards to the Arsenal game, there was a chance Mbumo broke from our own half into the Arsenal half to the post and then flunked his lines. One-on-one with the keeper. Cunha, yeah. Drove from our half through the Arsenal midfield and flunked his line. Assuming he scored that goal, and maybe Mbumo, the chance he had, he scored it, and Ahmad, the chance he had to, he scored. Don't you think that would have been a different story? Let's say, for example, I'm just asking an imaginary question, like a question of imagination. We won that Arsenal game, say by 2-1. Maybe Arsenal scored that set piece, and we won by 2-1. And then the remaining fixtures went the way they went. Do you think that we would have called that an improvement?
If we had won the Arsenal game and the other fixtures had gone the way they went, I feel like with the Grimsby game, you just can't say yes. Exactly. You can't say yes to the Grimsby game. But at the same time, you mentioned if Cunha had scored the goal.
Yeah.
And Cunha's moment was a moment of individual brilliance. Was it a moment of, okay, this is what Amorim has done for the team? It was a moment
but that's what Amorim wants in a player.
Yeah, he wants a player that has individual moments, that
can carry the ball. That
can carry the ball, right?
Yeah.
But the thing with that is that are you signing the player so he can just run from our half to that half to score a goal? Do you get what I mean? Like, is that what you're hoping for? That this player can have a moment like that and score a goal? Because I feel like Cunha not scoring that chance is not crazy, because like it wasn't. Like, he has already done the hard work and everything. Yes, if he had buried the chance, it would have been very good. Everybody would have been happy. But I feel like him not scoring that chance should be acceptable. And we can't necessarily live in these moments of like, what about that Cunha chance? The Mbemo chance, more of a clear-cut opportunity, more of an opportunity that we can look back on and be like, oh, if Mbemo had scored that chance, then would have joined the game.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the Cunha chance, you can't look at it and say, oh, if he had scored, because like, yes, if he had scored, you'd have been happy. A lot of teams have individual moments. Salah has all the individual moments. Hazard, same thing.
He had one games yesterday too as well.
Literally, right? Exactly. Yeah. That win them games, right? So like, you can look at that, but at the same time, you have to also look at the team overall. Like, are we creating enough chances, not even chances, clear-cut chances in these games to win these games? That's what you have to look at, not just individual moments.
Okay. Speaking of, because you talked about, I had to ask that question because I wanted to read out some stats that I've seen. And, Sky Sports are very good at presenting stats to make Man United look bad.
Definitely.
But then they present some stats that try to make Man United look good too. So they brought out these stats and they said Manchester United's attacking in 25-26 season, for goals, we scored only 4. We're 8th on the log this season in the Premier League. Then for expected goals, that's XG. It's like the quality of chances you've created, the goal conversion versus the goals that you missed, and then how many goals you've scored so far. So of all the goals we scored 4. The chances we made, the conversion rate and everything now brings you to an XG. So it is expected that we're supposed to have been scoring 6.7 goals per 7-8 goals per 90. In fact, overall, we're supposed to have scored at least 7 goals this season, right? So in XG, that's expected goals, we are number 1 on the league. For shots, we have 58 shots. So it's not like we're not shooting. We are shooting, but just not scoring or converting. 58 shots, first in the league. Shots on target, 16, second in the league. Chances created, 45, first in the league. Touches in the opposition box, 99, first in the league. Now, goals from open play, 1. That's a damning stat. 1, we're 17th in the league, so we should have been converting our chances, which brings me back to my shot conversion rate, 6.9%, 16th in the league. Then, XG performance, based on like performances we've put out game by game, minus 2.7, 19th in the league. So we are expected to put up this performance, and we put up a negative 2.7 performance, and we're 19th in the league. Meanwhile, considering the goals and stuff, we should have been higher. right? If we had scored goals scored, we should have been higher. We should have scored at least 7 goals. So when we talked about the chance that Cunha missed, it's also part of the situation, right? It's also part of, like, if Cunha converted that chance, if Mbeumo scored that 1 goal against Man City, or in fact the 2 goals he had the chance to score against Man City, if the chance was more closer to what Haaland had against Bayern that Šeško had against Donnarumma, then it takes the game to 3-3, right? Because I looked at the chances created. In fact, now I put that as that Man City loss down to aggressiveness. We're not aggressive enough because nobody got a card in that game. 0-0 on cards. So I put it down to we're not aggressive enough against City. City were more aggressive and we were not aggressive. Fouls committed was crap as well. That game should be feistier, should have more fouls. So looking at these stats, I will say for one that we were underperforming our statistics or underperforming our numbers. That's why we're where we are. Even though the only performance I'll put it down to is ever since that Arsenal game, we've not been the same. And then Grimsby Town was just the lowest of lows. And then we came up again, same roller coaster ride, and then dropped down again against City. So that's how I think about this. I look at the stats, but then I look at the eye test too as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you look at the stats against Man City, you will know that the statistics are very deceptive. Why? The stats show that we had more possession. But if you look at the first half, they had more possession than us, right? The stats show that we both had 13 shots each. You look at the first half, they had
a lot more shots
than we did. We had 2 shots in the first half. Now, when you look at that stat, it's like, oh, Man United played well, but the eye test tells you we were horrible. Good. So that's the thing. It's a balance, which brings us back to the manager. I know your stand, but I'm going to ask you because of the viewers. Are you Amorim in or Amorim out?
I have to say that I'm Amorim out. I was once Amorim in. I was once a believer, but I'm no longer a believer.
Okay, that's respectable. I mean, for me, I'm Amorim in because I feel like, for the main reason that he barely came 7 months ago, 8 months ago, came in November, and he's barely had a year at the club.
Yeah.
November will make it a year, but he's also barely had a season to work with his players, and he just has a new front line. Another reason why I'm Amorim in is because the one time when we wanted Cunha, Šeško, and Mbeumo to play, Cunha got injured. So we've never had that front three play together for any time this season.
Yeah.
The only person that has delivered in the front three is Mbeumo. The striker had his first start against Man City. I mean, in the Premier League. I mean, he started the Grimsby Town game, but he didn't start with Mbeumo, right? We only had them play that game towards the end once. And Mbeumo still had more crosses. And then at some point, Mbeumo had a cross against Burnley that he didn't score. So that's why I'm Amorim in. The things are not working, are not aligning for him. Which brings me to the next question. What are reporters saying? And we're going to talk about them. Now, reporters are actually saying that they're presenting a mixed bag of views on Amorim's situation at Manchester United as of today. Some sources are like the Mirror are claiming that Amorim has a limited number of games, possibly 3, to save his job. Do you think that that's the case for you? 3 games to save his job?
Personally,
Chelsea,
for me,
yeah, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland before the
I do
international.
think that I don't know what can save his job except for 3 wins out of 3, in my opinion.
Okay.
If he's left to me, I think that unless he wins Chelsea, unless he wins, is it Brentford?
Yeah, Brentford and Sunderland. Yeah.
Unless we win all those games, that's the only thing that will make me think maybe we're cooking something here. If we even lose 1, I feel like...
Okay. But reputable journalists like David Olstein, Fabrizio Romano are also rejecting these more sensationalist, because they call it sensationalist kind of stories, and reporting that United are continuing to back Amorim. Do you believe that the board should still back Amorim? And if they are to back Amorim, what do you think that Amorim should do?
I don't believe that they should. It seems as if they do. I do think that Jim Ratcliffe, I don't think he believes in manager turnover.
Yeah.
I don't think he believes in just this guy
Firing and
today,
firing.
this guy, this guy tomorrow. I don't think he believes in that. But I don't know if they should, just because like you mentioned that Amorim has not had a full season with United, yeah. But
Yeah.
when you're not taking everything into account, he has played 31 Premier League games, and as much as they were in 2 different seasons,
Yeah.
that is almost a full Premier League season.
Yeah.
And then when you now look at where we are, where you judge all the teams that have been in Premier League since that time, so you don't count the relegated teams of last season,
Yeah.
we are last on the table in terms of points gotten. We have
No, don't count. Okay, if you add this season and last season,
yeah,
okay, I can agree with you. Yeah,
we
I was
are
gonna
eight. We are eight. We have what? We have won 8 games. How many?
eight
How
games.
many
Yeah,
games?
8 games, 7 draws, and 16 losses.
16 losses is. I don't even know what to say about 16
No,
losses.
there's somebody worse anyway. But let's keep going.
Oh, but honestly, I
Somebody
can't.
worse is currently at Nottingham Forest. So let's keep going.
Yeah. No, we'll leave him out. We'll leave him out.
Oh,
But
but he literally had 22 losses. So let's
no,
go.
Tottenham were bad, but Tottenham replaced their manager because they couldn't, like, they can't back that regardless. Like, he won a Europa League title, got everybody excited, but there was no amount of excitement that could make them keep Ange in that
Yeah.
club. And I
Yeah.
feel like with United right now, we don't even have that excitement. Like, when someone asks you right now, yeah, don't, like, no tactical analysis, no, when someone just asks you on a base level, like, what are you seeing in Amorim right now that makes you think that he should stay? Like, you look at a manager like Oli, right? Like, you could say, oh, we're devastating on the counter. The vibes at the club were good. Like, they always brought something to the club, right?
Yeah.
They always brought something. Yes, they had a lot of flaws. Every single
Yeah.
manager that comes since Fergie has had their flaws, but they've also had their perks. Like, Van Gaal was good in defense. Oli was good on the counter. Ten Hag
Yeah.
gave us trophies.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I
Mourinho,
look at
Mourinho
Amorim,
was good with low blocks and mid blocks.
exactly, and he gave us
Yeah.
trophies. I look at
Yeah.
Amorim, no trophies, no wins,
Yeah, but this
no.
club has shown severally that you don't need trophies to be sacked. Van Gaal got
Yeah.
sacked despite winning trophies. Mourinho got sacked despite winning trophies.
And I feel like that's how it should be.
Got sacked despite getting to 6 finals.
Yeah,
Glasner got sacked. I mean, in a season, we went to a Europa League final, FA Cup final, and Carabao Cup final in one season and lost all finals. The next season, he got to 3 finals and still lost. Nobody saw that De Gea was the cause for us at one point against Sevilla, the game that
Yeah.
broke my heart the most, or against Villarreal, right?
against Villarreal.
Yeah, no, there's Sevilla, there's Villarreal. The Sevilla one was in the Champions League. We needed to win, and De Gea had
Yeah,
that.
remember that game? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Exactly.
Oh my god.
You see how you feel right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Guess who was on the other side of the bench? Unai Emery. Unai Emery was on the other side of the bench when we lost to Sevilla and lost to Villarreal. So, I mean, like, we have to put this into consideration. We murdered, basically, we berated Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for that.
Definitely.
Like,
Well-
he is not the manager that's to get us to the next level. That's what everybody was saying.
But exactly. Look at that, yeah. Look at Solskjaer. I was thinking about that. Like, he's the manager that got us to a certain level, but he's not a manager that will get us to the next level. You're looking at England, and that's why they sacked Southgate. Southgate, what he has done for England is, oh my god,
Amazing.
like,
Took them to multiple
because
finals.
look at what England were before. Even the so-called golden generation, the players, when they had all the players in the world, they couldn't do anything. They haven't been able to do anything in all the competitions that have passed. This guy comes in, takes them to the Euros final, takes
Twice.
them to Euros final twice. Yes, he didn't win, but he took them to the finals twice, and he just couldn't get them over the line.
And the
I
World
think
Cup
that
as well.
at the World Cup, and everybody just came to the conclusion that he can take you far. He has all of this in him. He has improved us from whatever we were last season, and he has renewed our hope in the team, just like Solskjaer did. But at the end of the day, he can't get us over the line. So that's now the problem with Solskjaer. I feel like people just lost that belief that Solskjaer could get them over the line, and a team like Man United, you want a manager that can get you over the line. Now I look at Amorim and the reason why people are saying that we should sack him and what he has done for the club, right? And the standards are just very different, because we're not talking about a manager that can't get us over the line. We're not talking about a manager that can't get us to a set. We're talking about a manager that has made us not even a mid-table side, but even lower than the mid-table side. We're talking about a manager who, I know that you hate it when I say this, but hasn't gotten us back-to-back wins. since he came.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about a manager who, like, since he came, we don't even have any hope or confidence whatsoever that we can even win a game
So
against
are
the
you saying
relegation
back
side.
to back? Are you saying back to back wins in all competitions, or back to back wins just in the Premier League?
It's back-to-back wins in all competitions, no?
No,
Yeah, it is.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I'll question it because I remember when we were on the riding on the high of the Europa League, we must have won 2 games back to back.
No, because we
Or if
won
it's
a Europa League game, then we lose a Premier League game or draw the Premier League game, and then we go and play the other Europa League game and we win.
okay,
So in all competitions, when you add them up, it is no back-to-back wins.
yeah. I'm just going to. I'm checking it out just to be sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yes, he has not had a back-to-back wins in all competitions during his time at Man United at all. And in fact, he has never won back-to-back Premier League games with a club. You know, his tenure has been marked with poor performance with a win rate of around 36% across all competitions and 25% in the Premier League, the worst for a permanent United manager since World War II.
Would I even call it World War II?
Yeah, I said that this was according to who is reporting. I think somebody, I think Sky Sports. Yeah, I said that in one of my videos. Speaking of Amorim, I know the stats and all of this. You see now because the eye test is failing where Amorim is for everyone, and then the stats also don't tell the full story. But it's the stats that isn't to judge him. So, like you said, it's a results business. That's the only thing I can term this as. So, which brings me back to my initial question with regards to that, because there's been reports that even though the reports are really unconfirmed, Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, as well as Ben Jacobs, have not said anything with regards to the difference, with regards to any unconfirmed reports about Amorim being sacked. But there are a list of managers that have been listed by the bookers or the bookies or whatever you call them, that will replace Amorim. And I want to get your view on some of them. Number one on our list here is Oliver Glasner, Crystal Palace manager. What do you think?
I like Oliver Glasner a lot. And I think that I have like a breakdown of managers who I would replace Amorim with. And Glasner was one of the managers on the list. And I look at Oliver Glasner and I'm thinking, when I look at him, I'm thinking immediate impact. Like if you want immediate impact at your club, at Man United right now, get Oliver Glasner. Multiple things. One, that's the formation that we play right now, right? So like if he comes in and brings in that formation, that will not necessarily be a problem. Like, he'll just try and tweak one or two things tactically and then he'll get it, right? So, and then Glasner has just, what he has done in the past and what he has done even in the present right now can't be overlooked. Look at what he did at Frankfurt. In his first season at Frankfurt, got them a Europa League title. I think they finished 8th in the Bundesliga that season, so not the greatest, but got them a Europa League title. Went to Crystal Palace in his first full season at Crystal Palace, got them an FA Cup, their first ever win in their history. Got them an FA Cup. And you're just looking at what he has done.
United on the way to that too. So
oh my God. And then you're looking at them as a whole as well. Like, looking at him when he first came to Crystal Palace as well. I think he came in like February that year. And, he had a stop-start beginning to his career at Crystal Palace. But like at some point in that season, that was towards the end of the season, you can look at the games. Like you can see how Crystal Palace just went on form. They were winning the games. I think they even beat United like
along that line.
Yeah, they beat United in that.
Draw. Or I think Olise was in that game as well. Eze was in that game and Olise scored a free kick. It was a draw, a 2-1 win or something.
Yeah, it's just time. Like you can see the amount of impact that he had immediately he joined, right? And you're looking at what he has done with players as well, because like I feel like right now we're always talking about our midfield, how this system doesn't get the best out of us. Our midfield, we're not even talking about the formation, we're talking about the system and the tactics and everything. You're looking at Glasner and you're looking at what he has done with Adam Watson, the class. Like Adam Watson is literally class right now. Every team wants him. There's rumors that Real Madrid wants him. Real Madrid wanting you is the highest praise that you can get in your life. So I look at Glasner and I think immediate impact. I think if you want immediate impact at your club, if you want something, if you're so down right now and you just want a manager who can come in and just say, I'm just going to turn things around for you, I think Oliver Glasner is the way.
Yeah, I would agree with you on Oliver Glasner because I did a comparison between Oliver Glasner's formation and Rúben Amorim's formation. Let's just talk about the 3-4-3 formation and how they played. And thinking back as to how they played last season, when we played them, they used the same formation and they still outwitted us. I think that was a game where Lisandro Martinez got his ACL injury, if you remember.
Was it ankle?
No, ACL. Yeah, pulled his ACL, and that was he tore his ACL. It was in that Crystal Palace game under Oliver Glasner that Lisandro Martinez got that injury. So I can agree with Oliver. In fact, he'll be the one I'll go for if the rumors are true. Well, the rumors are not true, but if the rumors are true that Rúben Amorim is going to be sacked, I would definitely go for Oliver Glasner. He's proven already in the Premier League. He's proven outside the Premier League in Europe and stuff. My question would be like, would he want to leave his club in Europe to come to Man United? Yeah. But then the Man United pool is the Man United pool, right? If Man United comes calling, if you look at the situation and you see what you have, you probably want to answer the call. So Oliver Glasner for me, amongst this list I have, but we're still going to go down to my next or second favorite. But then the next one is Gareth Southgate, former England coach, and he's a name reportedly liked by Ineos. What do you think?
I think international tournaments and back to week in, week out games are very different. That's what I'll say. I think that Southgate did bits at England.
And failed at Middlesbrough as well. So
yeah, so I like Southgate. I like him. I liked him at England. But do I like him as my club manager? Do I think that he has the ambition? Do I think they can get us? Because right now we're not even talking about over the line. We're talking about even getting us back to even thinking about getting over the line. So
winning ways.
Exactly. We're not even thinking about trophies right now. So maybe that doesn't really matter. But what I think about Southgate is that looking at what he did for England, right, and how he turned them from this team who
the unlikable team to the likable team.
Exactly. To a likable team. Like how he renewed the faith of not just the players but England fans. Like England fans right now are going into tournaments thinking that they can win. They're going into World Cups thinking that they can win. And that's what Southgate did. Southgate is literally, in my opinion, a hero for England. Can he now do that on club level is a whole other question. But what you can now say is that he has managed pressure before because he managed England and there's no managerial job, international managerial job higher than the England job. So we know that he can manage pressure.
Club, Manchester United is a whole nother beast.
It's a whole other beast, yeah.
Southgate might be good with managing the press, but forget that he's English. He will struggle. I won't lie to you.
He will struggle.
No, honestly, he will struggle. Another one I have on my list, who I think is also good enough because he's had a wealth of experience. He has played that formation before. Is another Portuguese manager in Marco Silva. Fulham manager, reportedly has admirers among the club's hierarchy. What are your thoughts?
I like Marco Silva and I like what he has done at Fulham. I think that with Marco Silva is under manager I had on my list. And what you're getting from him is kind of like general team play. Like I think that with Fulham, he has kind of created this like brotherhood and this team
camaraderie.
Exactly. So everybody's getting the best out of everybody. Like, no, it's not about individuals, it's about the team as a whole. And looking at United right now, you're looking at what we've talked about. Like, we're looking at the Garnacho situation that we talked about in the previous episode. And just in general, like, the players, the moments that we've had. And we're talking about, like, oh, why didn't you score the ball to this guy? Why are you doing all these individual things and everything? So if you're looking for a manager to just come in and turn it from it's about me to it's about the team, I think they're looking at Marco Silva. I also like Marco Silva because he doesn't complain. No matter how bad things are at the club, he doesn't complain. He makes the best out of a bad situation. And currently United are in a terrible situation, but we have so much quality players that like I don't even think there's anything to complain about if it comes to Man United right now. I think that he has a lot going for him, but at the same time, I do think that, like, there are bad things that, like, he can deal with because, like, he doesn't complain about his situation. He doesn't say, because I didn't sign the player. My problem with Marco Silva is that I don't know how ambitious he is. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking about Moyes because, like, it might be a thing of, like, does he have that mentality to take us to, because right now, like I said, we're not talking about trophies, we're talking about winning ways and everything, and I do think that he can get us back to winning ways, but like how how progressive is he? Like, I'm looking at Fulham right now, and as much as like become a better team since he joined, they've been doing that thing that kind of stuck at one place right now, where like they're not really jumping into the top 10, and they're not really like lower than that 11th,
They're
12th, and
just
everything. They're
mid-table
just
to
there. And
bottom
I'm
half.
looking at them and thinking about how they've been doing for the past 2 to 3 seasons. They could have
Yeah.
gotten better, but they just haven't. So does that come down to the manager's ambition? Is he ambitious enough to take Man United to where they need to be? Can he handle the pressure that the fans will bring? That's my question with Marco Silva. But I like him as a manager, but does he have that ambition? Is the question.
Okay. That's Marco Silva seems ambitious and all. I think he's coached not just Fulham. I think if I'm correct, he probably coached Wolves or no. I think Marco Silva coached an English club
Is
before.
it Wolves?
That's what I'm trying to think. I could quickly just do a quick search. He coached an English club before Fulham. And he is the kind of manager that is very he's smart with his tactics. He reads the other team. Yeah, I was thinking it was Wolves. He actually coached Hull City, Watford, Everton.
Oh my God, it was Watford, I remember.
Yeah, Watford, Everton, and Fulham. So he's been there. He's been around, in and around. Another question, which I'm going to bring to you. Just give me 1 second. Is the next person on our list here? Give me a sec. Where's that list? Okay, yeah. The next person on our list here is Andoni Iraola, Bournemouth manager, also mentioned as being in the running. So, thoughts?
We just talked about a manager who I don't think is as ambitious, and I'm looking at Iraola. I'm thinking ambition. I'm thinking this is a manager that believes that he's big, believes that he can do it. I'm looking at what he has done at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are just a whole other team from what they were. Bournemouth was once a side fighting relegation, and now they're a team that were considering in Europe. Now they're a team that are doing big things, that is getting noticed in Europe, not just in the Premier League. Bournemouth at one point were the best pressing team in the world. In the world, not in the Premier League, in the world. And that is crazy. I'm also looking at Iraola. I'm thinking the amount of work that he does with attacking players cannot go under the radar. Like, look at what he did with Solanke before he went to Spurs. He scored 19 goals that season. Look at what he did with Semenyo the next season. Look at what he did with Kluivert as well last season as well. And you're just thinking, like, the amount of attacking talent that United have at their disposal right now, like, he can get the best out of those players that we have in attack. So we have signed all these players, and they'll be very happy to have a manager like Iraola. Now the problem with Iraola is that, is he too trigger happy? Is he a bit too trigger happy? Is the question. Because he's going to come in and then just think about the attack. Yes, he can do bits with defense. He had Hoyson and what's his name?
Zabani.
And that's gone to PSG now. And they did well and everything, but like they could have done better in terms of defense last season with that, with the quality of defense that they had, but they didn't, right? So is he too trigger happy? Because like one of the things that comes with him is risk, and I'm looking at Man United right now, and I'm thinking that we might need that risk factor. Like, we need a manager to just get us feeling like we can win again. And if you're looking for that, if you're looking for an overcorrection, might I say, you go with Iraola, in my opinion. If you're looking for an overcorrection, but at the same time, is it too much of an overcorrection? Is it too trigger happy? Are we going to be too exposed? Is the question that we need to ask.
Okay, that's some valid questions you've asked there. Of all the four managers I've listed, Oliver Glasner seems to be like the correct profile or the hot topic or hot manager right now. Gareth Southgate, well, of the top four, he's like the bottom of that four, obviously, because international football cannot be translated to English football when it comes to Premier League club football, day-to-day activities running a club. I know you mentioned dealing with pressure, but it's also a hard thing to ask when you talk about dealing with pressure, because England and Man United are two different beasts. Man United you can't handle. England you can probably handle because you know how to talk to the press. But Man United, nah, man, they're going to be probing you about specific players, even if that player is crap. Marco Silva seems like a fiery figure, another Portuguese manager who can actually play that system. I can say number 2 on that list. Andoni Iraola, maybe number 3. But then Andoni Iraola doesn't play that system, but he's good. And I don't like Andoni Iraola. And I know why I don't like him. He was the captain of the Athletic Bilbao team that knocked Man United out of the Europa League. 3-2 win. Andoni Iraola was the right back.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So it's personal.
How far I've gone. I don't like that guy. Go and check, you see. Man United, Athletic Bilbao, Andoni Iraola was the right back. I don't like that guy. But
that's
it's not good.
So funny.
Yeah. To think that I had to go back that far, right? Yeah.
That far is crazy.
Broke my heart. I remember him very well.
Diego Costa broke Chelsea hearts and they went there and was the Chelsea legend. So,
yeah, it's all good. Yeah. The next one is the one that I know that if there are how many managers? 6, he's going to be number 5. Is Mauricio Pochettino, current USA head coach, former Tottenham manager, previously linked with the United job. That's why he's on this list. What do you think?
I used to love Pochettino when he was at Spurs. I loved him. I loved what he did with Dele Alli, what he did with Eriksen, what he did with Son. Like he had a good squad and he did well with the squad. And Spurs became like just a threat. Like they were never maybe threatening to win or anything. Maybe the Leicester season.
They were competing.
They were competing always. They were steady competing. I'm looking at Poch and I'm thinking, can he do that for Man United? Because I'm looking at his time at Chelsea and I'm thinking he couldn't really replicate that. He had moments, but he couldn't replicate that at Chelsea. So I'm thinking, did he get to a point of comfort at Spurs? He was obviously at Southampton at some point, had Southampton doing bits with that squad that he had.
Yeah, he moved from Southampton to Spurs.
To Spurs. So he has been doing bits for time. But I'm thinking, like, does he still have it to be able to? Because he brought Spurs from like not necessarily a low place, but he brought Spurs from just a team
6th, 7th,
exactly,
to like competing for 1st to 4th. Yeah,
exactly. So Man United right now we are not 6th, 7th, we are 15th, 16th. Can he get us to 4th, 5th? Does he have what it takes to get us to 4th, 5th, or has he lost it to an extent to play this game week in, week out?
Yeah, I agree with you. And what you just said, has he lost it? I think the game has gone by him faster than he thinks, because if you look at the way the USA are playing, it's like they're not playing anything. It's just individual brilliance and vibes. With regards to him, I think going to PSG and Chelsea kind of ruined his managerial profile because he didn't work there. He didn't work in the Premier League. So it seems like it's past him. Then he now didn't get a job anywhere, then decided to get a job in the US. So for me, he's going to be number 5 on the list. And then to the last one, if I'm going to choose this manager, out of emotions and the fact that this manager means something to the club, and the fact that he has managerial experience, he's coached the club before, so he knows what it is to play for Manchester United. The former Tottenham player, Alex Ferguson, signed him from Tottenham Hotspur, and he coached Middlesbrough 3 seasons. On the 3rd season, he was sacked. Michael Carrick, former Man United midfielder, interim head coach, potentially. And he was also, like I said, he coached Man United before for I think 2 games or 3 games. Chelsea and Arsenal. We beat Chelsea 3-2. Sancho scored. Arsenal, we played 2-2 or so. And then I think 3 games, 1 cup game, 2 league games.
Yeah, 1 cup game.
Yeah, tipped by former United coach as the obvious candidate. I don't know who the former United coach will be, but the former United coach will potentially be, let's see, Sir Alex Ferguson. Yep. So, what do you think about Michael Carrick as Manchester United manager? At least.
Are we going to have that love story? Or not necessarily. I don't even want to call it I was going to use Xavi as an example. A more recent retiree that went to Barcelona. That's why I said maybe it wasn't necessarily a love story because of the way it ended. But Can Carrick do what Xavi did in terms of like getting them to a level where they could actually compete and win the La Liga title? I know that they struggled as well, but they did
Yeah.
win the La Liga title under him in a time where Real Madrid were definitely the stronger team. So can he do that? Does he have that love story in him, or is it just going to be a manager that we just like were sentimental about? He comes back and then he just struggles to handle the media. Obviously, he knows what it means to be a Man United player. He knows what it means to handle that pressure, but does he know what it means to take on that pressure as a manager?
I think he does
You
because
think
he
he
did
does?
that in the Champions League. In the Championship, he coached Middlesbrough for 3 seasons. After he left Man United, he went to Middlesbrough in 2022, and then he coached them from nearing relegation to 8th and competing. No, from nearing relegation to actually competing for the playoffs. And then the next season, he competed for the playoffs and lost to this team that starts with C that we played. And then we beat them, and then Andoni was celebrating in front of them. If you remember that team, they were blue.
Oh, I remember that
They
game. I remember that game. Yeah,
they look like Man City. I can't remember them. The name starts with C, but he lost to them in the semis, I think. Then in the next season, I think he got them to like 15th or something, or 10th, because I was following Michael Carrick ever since he left Man United. I just favorited Middlesbrough and I started following their progress. And he was doing well. It's just that the championship is a whole other game. But you still have an evidence in Maresca, coaching in the championship, winning the championship, and then coming to with Leicester, and then coming to Chelsea and doing bits. Has won 2 trophies in his first season. So, like you said, would it be a love story? Well, it's not something I'll oppose. In fact, I was also thinking of Darren Fletcher, who has been at the club since early days and can actually understand what's up. He's been through many managers and knows what's going on. He's coaching the under-18s right now. Could he be the interim while we find one or a solution? Or could we just go for any of these ones on the list? Or Michael Carrick, who is out of a job, and we just give him the Arteta timeline of like, okay, we're giving you, even though they're going to give him a 3-year contract. I mean, surprisingly, I discovered yesterday that Amorim signed a 2.5-year contract, right? Then Michael Carrick, maybe we'll give him a 2-year plus 1 contract, and we say, okay, how far can we go? And then you can now build from there. I don't know. For me, I like Michael Carrick, but maybe because it's sentimental and because of what it means to Man United.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just him coaching, I think he's handled the pressure before. He knows the English media in and out, and he knows how to tell them what they want to hear. He's done it.
But does he know how to give them what they need to be given? Is the question.
Oh yeah, I think he does. It's just he knows. I think he knows because he'll be that cool head. But then when the pressure now sets in, I've never seen him probably handle that pressure, because at some point fans were also climbing on his back and saying what does he have to offer in the coaching staff and stuff, or should they? I think that time it was under Erik ten Hag. So yeah, he started his coaching under Mourinho, I think. But then I don't know what of all in this whole list. If you were at the hierarchy or the helm of affairs of Manchester United, who would you go for? Like in the now, Oliver Glasner, Gareth Southgate, Marco Silva, Andoni, Iraola, Mauricio Pochettino, and Michael Carrick. Who would you go for?
So I have a short list of 2 people, and it will be either Iraola or Glasner. And it would have been clear for me that it's Glasner, but I'm thinking, do I want to? And this isn't me blaming the formation that we have right now, because like I said, the formation has won titles for teams in the past.
Teams before, yeah.
Yeah, and they've done, like, Crystal Palace is doing well right now. Chelsea used it to win a league title.
Yeah.
And Tuchel used it to win the Champions League. So if the formation can do bits and everything. So, but I'm just thinking, like, do I want us to move away? Like, do I want us to start afresh? So new formation and just go about our day. And then with that, you don't get Glasner because, like, at Frankfurt, at Crystal Palace, this is the formation that he uses. But if I'm talking about 2 things, immediate impact and just the manager I actually believe in, I do think that Glasner is the way. I'm looking at Iraola and I'm thinking it will be a fresh start in terms of like the
style of play,
the fact that he has this big club mentality that would work, which is why I didn't go with Marco Silva. I don't think he has a big club mentality. He has a big club mentality, he has a big manager mentality.
Yeah.
I do think that he can come in and give us that ambition that we're currently like, because like I said, the standards at the club are at an all-time low. Can this guy come in and just make it that we actually feel like a big club again. But is it too trigger happy? That's a question. But out of the
Yeah.
two, if I had to pick one, just one, I think I would say I think I would say I badly want to say Glasner. Badly. And I do think there is Glasner in my heart. But just because I want a kind of like overcorrection to the low standards of the club right now, I do think I'll go with Iraola just because I feel like we just need that overcorrection. We need to believe that we're a big club again. Right now we don't believe that. Right now we feel like every single game we can lose. So this guy will bring a style of play that associates with a big club. I will actually believe it again that we are a big club.
I like your points. I mean, very valid. Glasner seems to be the kind of player, the kind of manager that will play the same system and we don't have to start afresh. Just a few tweaks here and there, a few player repositioning, then we can have a good, or maybe even bring up players from the academy to replace certain holes or plug certain holes in the club, in the squad. And then Iraola, just like you said, he has a big club mentality. But these two managers have coached at big clubs before. That's the thing. Iraola has coached in Spain before. He has coached, I think he has coached Athletic Bilbao, if I'm not mistaken.
He coached, was he Vallecano?
Vallecano.
Yeah,
Andoni
coached
Iraola,
Vallecano.
yes.
I remember what he did with Frangas, yeah.
He did Rayo Vallecano, he did Siri Mirandas, he did AEK Lameka, so he's been coaching, right? Yeah, and he played his whole life at Athletic Bilbao. So 475. If he
and what he did for Rayo Vallecano as well is crazy. He got them.
That's why. Yeah, that's why.
He promoted them from the second division, got them to La Liga, got them finishing 11th and 12th.
Yeah, and they're still there till now.
Yeah,
can imagine. And he coached there for 3 years during all his time at Man United. And he joined in 2023 at Bournemouth, and he's been doing well. So yeah. So basically, he's had at Bournemouth 92 games, 38 wins, 34 losses, and 20 draws. So how many percent does that tell you? That's about 50%.
38 wins.
38 wins, that's one Premier League season.
Yeah.
34 losses, that's a whole season minus 4 games. And then 20 draws. So as Bournemouth manager. And then the only trophies he's won is when he coached in Cyprus. He won the Super Cup in 2018-2019. Oliver Glasner has won trophies as well, just like you said. Frankfurt, just checking Glasner. Glasner has, he's played 70 matches for Crystal Palace, 33 wins, 22 draws, 15 losses. So that seems like it's a 60 to 70% win rate.
Yeah.
Trophies is one. Yeah, there's one more trophies. Not gonna lie. Yeah. He won the FA Cup and the Community Shield. Well, if we count the Community Shield as a trophy. Frankfurt, he won the Europa League in 21-22 season. LASK Austria, he won he won 2 league titles. No, he won a league. That's their second division, LASK. He won second division in 2016-2017. And then he coached Reed in Austria and won the League Cup in 2010-2011. So that was a long time ago, almost 25 years ago. But he's 51 now, and he seems to have a wealth of experience. And then Marco Silva, I think Marco Silva has been in and around clubs that I can tell you. He coached Fulham and won the championship in 21-22 season. He coached Olympiacos and in Greece, and he won the Super League 2015-2016. And then he coached Sporting. And he won the Taça de Portugal 2014-2015. Taça de Portugal should be the cup game, basically, the League Cup.
Yeah.
Portuguese League Cup. So, I don't know. For me, I hate starting again. We did that when we sacked.
Ten
The previous manager, Ten Hag, starting again. Now we want to start again. But it is what it is. Yeah, it was good to have this conversation. Trust me, I'm still caught in between because obviously, like, I'm Amorim in, but I know the stats don't show. I was thinking about it in the bathroom today and I was like, should I just give up? But I've never given up on any manager anyway. Surprisingly, I backed Moyes till the end. I backed Van Gaal till the end. I backed in fact, Stretford Paddock made me back Ragnick to the end. So much so that when he was sacked, I followed his career, still following his career with Austria. I backed even Ten Hag till the end. I backed Van Nistelrooy if they kept him. I mean, I wish they had kept him. Signed a pre-contract agreement. I said this maybe at the beginning of the contract. Signed a pre-contract agreement with Amorim, and then have Van Nistelrooy towards the end of the season. But yeah, anyway, I mean, we could go on and on talking about these manager lists, but like what I can say, unconfirmed reports are saying Oliver Glasner, Gareth Southgate, Marco Silva, Andoni, Iraola, Mauricio, Pochettino, and Carrick. But what's your thoughts? Leave in the comment section. Who do you think Manchester United should go for that can help us take us to the next level? Put it in the comment section, and we'll have that conversation in the community. Also, go and follow my friend Ikenna on his YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to his channel. I'll drop the links in the comment section. Check out the Real United Talk Show. Talks about all things Real Madrid, Manchester United, and he gives like previews, reviews, watch-alongs, and all that, and even news, breaking news and stuff. And he gives a different perspective, like a fan perspective, to the analytical aspect of football. So just go check him out on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel, like his videos, like, share, subscribe, so you don't have to miss anything when it comes to Real Madrid and Manchester United. And also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe at United Talk Podcast, so you don't have to miss anything relating to Manchester United. Like I said, if you're watching from his channel, you joined from his channel, subscribe. And if you're watching from United Talk Pod, also subscribe to his channel. We will all build the community together and hopefully have conversations like this. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Like I said again, if you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe. You don't have to miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ikenna, for coming on the show with us. I'll
Thank
see
you
you
for
on the
having
next
me.
one. Goodbye and God bless.